When I entered the private room, I saw Jasper kissing Cynthia. I had been in love with Jasper for 7 years, while he had loved Cynthia for 5 years. I don't know if Jasper felt guilty or not, but he introduced his younger brother to me. However, he regretted it later. He held my hand and said, "Mavis, I regret it. Will you come back to me? It's too late. Your brother is more appealing. Today is Jasper's birthday." I went all over the city just to find the chestnut cakes that he liked. Somehow, they were all sold out. In the end, I had to settle for mung bean cakes, his second favorite, and then took a cake with me. I went to the bar he had reserved. I was a bit late compared to the appointed time. Before I even entered the private room, I could already hear the boisterous cheering inside. The moment I opened the door, I froze all over. Jasper was kissing Cynthia, with an affectionate look on his face that I had never seen before. I watched until the kiss ended. The people around were still cheering for them to be together. Then I closed the door of the private room again and chose to turn around and leave. It was time for everything to come to an end. My 7 years of admiration and his 5 years of affection. It was all over. He got what he wanted, and I was completely heartbroken. It was all okay. I sat by the river with the mung bean cakes and the cake, looking at the glistening waves of the river. I opened the package and stuffed the cakes into my mouth one bite after another. I don't know if too much sugar was added to the mung bean cakes this time, but they were so sweet that they tasted bitter. Jasper was on my mind. When you're young, don't meet someone too stunning, or it'll be hard not to fall for them. Jasper was a favored son of heaven. He was excellent in everything. There were many people who liked him. I transferred to this school in the second year of high school. When I entered the class, I was ostracized. Once, the donations collected by the school that were placed in the class disappeared. Everyone pointed the finger at me. I couldn't defend myself, but Jasper came forward to testify for me. He said that I had been with him on the rooftop all along and didn't have time to take the donations. Later, the lost donations were found. It turned out that the monitor had forgotten them in the inner layer of his school bag. From that moment on, I secretly hid Jasper in a corner of my heart. I adored him, but I didn't dare to tell him. Because he regarded me as a buddy, the best kind of buddy. I played the role of a buddy by his side and later got into the same university as him. In our freshman year, he told me that he liked the class beauty in the neighboring class, Cynthia. Cynthia was the type of girl who looked like a first love goddess, pure and lovely, really charming. He asked me how to chase girls. I swallowed the bitterness in my heart and helped him search for strategies on Jihu on how to pursue girls. I sent the things I found to Jasper. I also helped him fold a jar of paper stars to give to Cynthia. I don't know if it was the sincerity of the stars that moved her or if Jasper had such good natural conditions, but he managed to win Cynthia's heart in just 1 month. I should have left Jasper's life at that time. During that period, in order to avoid seeing them showing off their affection, I never dared to appear in the same place as them. I started to cut off contact with Jasper. Maybe his love was so sweet and affectionate that after he sent me a few messages and I didn't reply, he didn't contact me again. If we had completely broken off at that time, the 5 wasted years that followed wouldn't have happened. I met Jasper again after self-study class. I was blocked by 2 hooligans in an alley. He saved me again. In the dim light, I looked at his face that I hadn't seen for months and couldn't help crying. He touched the bruise on the corner of his mouth and pulled the corner of his mouth in dissatisfaction towards me. He said, "Mavis, why are you crying? I'm the one who got beaten. Are you hurt anywhere? Do you want to go to the hospital? It's just a minor injury. You know how good my skills are. I was a famous little bully when it came to fighting in high school. Come on, I'll take you home." I followed him silently. "Why haven't you come to see me during this period? You didn't reply to my messages either." "I was afraid of disturbing you and your girlfriend's sweet love." He didn't say anything for a long time. I couldn't help looking up at him. He was frowning. "What's wrong?" "Don't mention it. We broke up." Her whole family planned to immigrate to country F and had already arranged everything for school and so on. She just said goodbye to me. I didn't expect that my relationship only lasted for 3 months and then fell through. Why are you so quiet? Aren't you going to comfort me? When one door closes, another opens. He put his arm around my shoulder. Brothers are still the best. They'll never leave you. What bullshit love is. I don't want it anymore. Don't stop replying to my messages again. After that, he didn't have another girlfriend, but I found the jar of paper stars that I had folded in his drawer. Did he keep that jar because I folded it or because it was a token of love with Cynthia? Today, I got my answer. The 7 years of being together from beginning to end couldn't compare to the moment of falling in love when we were young. It turned out that he had also kept her in his heart for 5 years. The phone rang. I looked down and saw Jasper's name. I put the phone to my ear. Hello. Mavis, where are you? Today is my birthday. Aren't you? I'm working overtime at the company. There's a very important project and I really can't get away. Happy birthday. He complained that I was heartless, and then I heard Cynthia on the other end of the phone asking him to cut the cake. The phone call was hung up. I opened the cake in my hand, put candles on it, and made a wish for myself. I hoped that I could stop loving Jasper this year. Loving him had always been a one-man show of mine from start to finish. The next day, Jasper invited me to dinner, saying that he had some news to share with me. I wanted to run away, but in the end, I agreed. You can escape for a while, but not forever. I guessed that he was going to make an official announcement with Cynthia. As it turned out, my guess was right. He brought Cynthia with him. Mavis, you should still remember Cynthia. This time, she was sent back by the overseas company and just happened to join our company as a manager. As he spoke, his face turned a bit red. We got back together. Some people say that love is bullshit and it's better to be brothers. I was really stupid enough to be his brother for so many years. In fact, he was just waiting for her. I felt a stabbing pain in my heart and forced a smile on my face. Congratulations. Finally, someone has taken you in. I saw Cynthia pat Jasper's arm, and then he added another sentence. Now that I've found my partner, you've been single for so many years. Isn't it time for you to have a partner too? I happen to have a younger brother. Let me introduce you to him. Maybe you'll hit it off. He just went to the bathroom and will be back in a while. I knew that Jasper had a younger brother, but their parents were divorced. His mother took his younger brother to Country F, which was why he broke up with Cynthia back then. Because his mother chose his younger brother at that time, he had always been brooding over it and never wanted to set foot there. As soon as he finished speaking, I saw a man walk over and sit down opposite me. He was Jasper's younger brother, but he didn't look like Jasper at all with that aggressive appearance. He looked quite cute and was only about 20 years old. He was wearing a light blue hoodie and black work pants. When he sat down, he obediently said to me, "Hello, sister. My name is Chase." Seeing this, I pretended to be relaxed and said, "Aren't you a bit too young?" Chase raised his eyebrows unhappily. "Sister, you can't say I'm young without even trying. You two can get to know each other first. Maybe you'll be a good match." Sister-brother relationships are quite popular these days. Cynthia looked at us with a smile. Jasper, on the other hand, pursed his lips and didn't say anything. I hadn't thought about having any future development with Chase. I just wanted to end this situation quickly. Let's add WeChat first. If you say try, then try. Jasper fixed his eyes on me with a look of disbelief in them. It was as if he was surprised that I would agree. At this moment, I was wondering if he knew that I had been secretly in love with him. Jasper met my eyes and suddenly stood up from his seat, forcing a smile on his face. "Then I won't disturb you two getting to know each other. Cynthia and I haven't seen each other for years, and we're going to revisit our old school." After saying that, he quickly left with Cynthia. I didn't turn my head back until their figures completely disappeared as they left the coffee shop. Then I looked at Chase. "Little brother, that's it. I don't like kids." He looked 5 or 6 years younger than me. After saying that, I didn't dare to look into his eyes and took a sip of the coffee beside me. He leaned back on the chair, crossed his arms, and said softly, "You like my brother?" Cough, cough, cough. I choked on his words. Are kids nowadays so sharp-eyed? Nonsense. Sister, don't rush to deny it. There are two things in the world that can't be hidden, and that's love and hunger. Otherwise, Cynthia wouldn't have urged my brother to introduce me to you right after they got back together. Really? Was it that obvious? How come Jasper didn't notice it in 7 years? But I was stubborn and didn't want to admit it. You're so young, yet you pretend to be an expert in love. Don't just blindly use some famous sayings. Since you don't like me, why were you in such a hurry to reject me? I said I don't like younger guys. He stood up from his seat, walked towards me, put his hands on the table, leaned over, and got closer to me. I'm really not young. You just said to give it a try. There's no time like the present. Maybe you'll like me. There are many advantages to dating someone younger. I reached out and pushed him away, feeling my face getting hot. Rogue. What a waste of such a cute face. I'm 22. I'm really not young. I've reached the legal age of marriage. What are you thinking? Who's the rogue here? I'm not interested in you, and being in a relationship isn't in my plan right now. Fine, suit yourself. He got a bit angry and left. Damn kid. He looked cute, but he had quite a temper. I originally thought that Chase wouldn't talk to me again. Who knew that he would chat with me on WeChat the next day and asked me to go to the suburban villa to play this Sunday. Suburban villa? Tisk, what's on your mind usually? Me? He added another sentence, it's not just us. There are many other people, and my brother will also come. When I saw that Jasper was going too, I didn't want to go even more. I'm working overtime. I don't have time. Don't lie to me. I know your company never works overtime on Sundays. You're just afraid of seeing my brother and Cynthia and getting sad, so you don't dare to come. Damn kid. He could read my mind. I was indeed afraid of seeing Jasper and Cynthia, afraid that the feelings that I had carefully hidden for 7 years would be exposed at this inappropriate time. No. If not, then come. Otherwise, my brother might call you himself in a while. Fine. You're really something, damn kid. They held a barbecue at the suburban villa. Besides the two brothers, Cynthia also had several other friends including Jasper. I watched as Cynthia handed a skewer of squid to Jasper's mouth, and he obediently ate it. Actually, Jasper didn't like squid. When he came to my house for dinner before, he always wouldn't pick it up. I only found out after asking. His mother's specialty dish was squid with cauliflower. Since his mother left, he had never eaten it again. But when Cynthia handed it to him, he ate it. I felt a bittersweet feeling in my heart. This was preference, I guess. I told myself, Mavis, you promised not to love anymore, and you should keep your word. I should love myself well in the future. Try the leek I grilled and see if it tastes good. Chase handed me a skewer of somewhat blackened leek as if showing off a treasure. His two eyes were looking at me expectantly like a puppy's. I took it and took a bite. If you hadn't told me it was leek, I would have thought it was a rag. This is the first time I've grilled something for someone. Is it really that bad? As he said that, he couldn't help showing a disappointed expression. Seeing how disappointed he was, I changed my words. Actually, it's okay. It's just a bit burnt. The taste is passable. I'll taste it myself. He held my hand and brought the skewer to his own mouth. Jasper's gaze also fell over here, landing on our clasped hands, and the expression on his face darkened. When young people get together, it's inevitable that they want to play some games. We put a wine bottle on the table. Whoever the bottle pointed to when it stopped spinning would have to choose between truth or dare. The bottle spun and stopped in front of Cynthia. Truth. Tell us how Jasper chased you back then? Cynthia took a sweet look at Jasper and began to tell the story of how Jasper launched his pursuit of her. Actually, I didn't need to listen to know the answer. When Jasper was young, he ran to the school broadcasting room for Cynthia, turned on the microphone, and sang the song, Love You. He brought breakfast for Cynthia every day. He rode his bicycle to accompany her to and from school. He skipped classes to celebrate her birthday and shouted his confession with a loudspeaker downstairs in her dormitory. How romantic it was. In fact, I found out all these things and forwarded them to him, and he did every single one of them. Back then, how much I wished I could receive such love. Every single thing among them was what I wanted to have but would never have the chance to possess. Now when I think about it, the intense pain back then tortured me so much that I couldn't fall asleep until late at night and would secretly shed tears. Now it seems to have faded a lot. Finally, Cynthia said, "Jasper, didn't you also give me a jar of stars before?" There were 999 stars in it, symbolizing everlasting love. They were all folded by hand. It should still be around, right? Now that we're back together, you can give it to me again. It's really of great commemorative value. Jasper, however, took a look at me, picked up the wine glass in front of him and took a sip. "I don't know where it is." There was an instant of awkwardness in the atmosphere. Seeing this, one of his friends tried to ease the situation and said that the game should continue. The mouth of the wine glass stopped in front of me. I was worried that if I chose truth, they would ask something that I couldn't tell. So I decisively chose dare. "Then you choose a man present and kiss him. Anyone is okay. We haven't seen a man by your side for so many years." Everyone's burning gazes fell on me. Chase's eyes were almost blatantly saying, "Choose me." And the others were also quite interested. When Jasper heard this, his face suddenly darkened terribly and his voice sank. "Change it. Jasper, Mavis hasn't said anything. It's just a game. Don't be such a spoilsport. Yeah, hurry up and choose. Otherwise, you can just pick someone randomly." Suddenly, in the noisy jeering, Chase pulled me over. Lowered his head, and when he was about to kiss me, he pressed his fingertip on his lip. We kissed with our fingertips in between. "Next time I'll really kiss you. I want you to be willing, sister." After the kiss, he left this sentence in my ear. I felt his warm breath blowing on my ear. Although the kiss just now was with our fingertips in between, I saw the passion in his eyes. For so many years, I had never had such close contact with any man. Just now, I was so nervous that my heartbeat quickened. "That doesn't count. You're cheating in front of us. Yeah, if it doesn't work, kiss again or choose another person to kiss." The several people present were unrelenting. Screech. A sharp sound of a chair being dragged suddenly rang out, interrupting their jeering. Jasper stood up from his seat and said unhappily, "Enough. That's about it. Jasper, everyone is just having fun." Cynthia reached out to pull him. Chase came out to smooth things over. "Everyone's tired after playing for so long. Let's take a break." Everyone thought it was boring and left early. I went to the washroom and was also planning to leave. Just as I walked out of the washroom, Cynthia stopped me, looking at me with disdain and speaking harshly. "I hope you won't show up around Jasper anymore in the future. Don't you think Jasper can't tell that you like him? You're just a free and handy errand runner. He was too embarrassed to tell you. He heard your confession to him that time. He just pretended not to know and was just saving your face. I hope you'll have more self-awareness in the future." With every word she said, I felt the blood in my body turning colder. So he knew about it that time. He heard it. He was just pretending not to know my love for all these years. Once, I went to find Jasper when he had a high fever. I bought medicine, cooked porridge for him, and took care of him for the whole day. He was so feverish that he slept soundly in a daze. I looked at his face. After suppressing my love for so many years, I couldn't help but secretly kiss his cheek when he was asleep. I whispered to him, "Jasper, I've liked you for a very long time. I fell in love with you since you helped me in the second year of high school." I thought he hadn't heard it because I had never dared to openly express my love before. After suppressing it for years, I couldn't help it that time when I saw him sick and asleep. After that, he didn't mention anything about it to me, and we still got along as before. Well, Chase could guess it when we first met. How slow must Jasper have been to not know anything at all during all these years? As long as he called, I was always free at any time. I sent him documents, food, and picked him up from the bar and took him home. He had a bad stomach, so I tried every means to study recipes to nourish his stomach and would send them to him when I was free. I could know all his preferences and wanted to be the first to send him blessings on any festival. 7 years, I never left. I wondered why he was so stupid that he didn't know I was in love with him. It turned out that he wasn't unaware. He just pretended not to know after knowing it. Actually, loving him was my own choice, and how to choose was also his freedom. However, knowing that I had loved him for 7 years, he still introduced his younger brother to me. He was probably afraid that I would keep pestering him. He had always been in a difficult situation. It was just that because of our years of friendship, he didn't feel convenient to tell me these things face to face. At this moment, it seemed that I was more angry in my heart, and the pain was instead diluted. I understand. I won't do it anymore in the future. I won't see Jasper again. I had originally planned to find an excuse to have less contact with him. It's just that it came faster than expected. Why won't you see me again? A gloomy male voice came from behind. I looked up and saw Jasper and Chase standing by the wall not far away. There was a look of panic on Jasper's face, and there was confusion and nervousness in his eyes. In fact, his face had become a bit more mature over the years, losing the youthfulness of his younger days. I seemed to vaguely see the boy who spoke up for me in the class and the hero who fought the hooligans for me in the alley. They all gradually disappeared in the passage of time. I fixed my eyes on him and said seriously, Jasper, never seeing each other again is the last dignity you can give me. Since you already know that I liked you and you heard it that time, I don't bother to pretend anymore. Pretending for 7 years was actually really tiring, so let's never see each other again. I used liked, because at the moment when I looked at him just now, it seemed that all my emotions gradually disappeared. I had loved him so much, but in fact, most of it had already been worn away by time. My heart that loved him had become exhausted in the waiting. When I knew that he pretended not to know that I had loved him for 7 years and even introduced someone else to me, it seemed that the last bit of my love was gone. After saying that, I ignored his gradually pale face and walked past him. Chase reached out and grabbed me. It's getting late. Let me take you home. I pulled my hand back. Don't worry. Ordinary people are no match for me. I had learned Muay Thai as early as the year when I was stopped by hooligans in the alley. Every time I sent Jasper home as a substitute driver and then went back alone in the dark. Oh, by the way, Chase, we don't need to contact each other anymore either. You were probably just trying to help your brother get rid of me. Don't worry. I've already hit the wall hard enough. It's time to turn back. Actually, I'm not that tactless. If you hadn't insisted on inviting me today, I wouldn't have come. After saying that, I walked into the darkness alone. The stars seemed to have disappeared tonight, and the sky was unusually dark. I took out my phone and blocked both of them. Although I was unlucky in love, I was quite successful in my work. The company assigned me a very important bidding project recently. In order to shift my attention, I devoted myself wholeheartedly to work. I was so busy that I seemed to just casually deal with my meals by having a couple of bites. Mavis, let's go have dinner together. My colleagues in the same group called me. I saw that there was still a piece of data to calculate. So handsome. A cute boy. He looks so adorable. Who's he here to find? I really want to get his WeChat. Suddenly, there were a lot of excited voices among my colleagues. When I looked up, I saw Chase. He was carrying a thermos lunchbox in his hand and walked to me and stopped. No matter how busy you are, you have to eat, sister. My colleagues all winked at me and then said, so there's a loving lunch from your younger brother. No wonder you won't go with us. We'll just have to go to the cafeteria and eat those unappetizing dishes. Seeing that everyone had left, I frowned and looked at Chase. What are you doing here? Bringing you lunch. It's obvious. He opened the lunchbox and put it in front of me. Inside were sweet and sour fish, garlic-flavored Shanghai bok choy, and Chinese yam and pork rib soup. Hurry up and eat. I learned how to make these at home for several days. It shouldn't taste bad. I pushed it away. I thought I made it clear that day. What's the point of you doing this? He looked at me pitifully. I'm me and my brother is my brother. How can you punish the innocent? I didn't offend you. Could you please take me out of the blacklist? I immediately looked away. Damn kid, relying on his pitiful eyes to win sympathy. We didn't know each other well in the first place. We've only met 3 times in total. You two are from the same family. If it weren't for your brother asking you to meet me, we wouldn't even know each other. Why are you pestering me? Take your stuff away. I won't eat it. I still have work to do. Don't disturb me. Who let you in? I just joined the company and will be working with you in your group. We have to communicate after all. You blocked me. How could I contact you if there were any problems? I clicked on the company group and there was indeed a new employee. All the messages were welcoming Chase. The boss really arranged for him to join our group, saying that our new project was a key project in the company and it would be easier to handle with one more person. You won't mix personal affairs with business affairs, will you? Of course not. Reluctantly, I removed him from my blacklist. The meal has already been cooked. It's a waste of food if you don't eat it. Eat it yourself. I have instant noodles. I took out a bucket of instant noodles from the drawer and filled it with water from the water dispenser. Unexpectedly, the water dispenser was broken. All of a sudden, the water flowed out with great force and the boiling hot water splashed directly onto my hand. I didn't say a word and instinctively threw the instant noodles on the ground. Chase quickly ran over, pulled my hand under the faucet and kept rinsing it. Then his eyes turned red. Kid, it's my hand that's red. Why are you crying? I just feel bad seeing it. Besides, I'm not crying. He refuted unhappily. You refused to eat the meal. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been scalded. Seeing him like this, I couldn't bear to argue with him anymore. Okay, it's my fault. You sit here and eat obediently. I'll go buy some ointment for you. Looking at his back as he rushed out, I couldn't help feeling a bit choked up. For many years, no one had cared about me like this. It was just that my hand was scalded by the boiling water. It wouldn't hurt after a while. That's what my mother told me. I remembered when I was a child, I was so hungry that I wanted to soak rice with boiling water. The boiling water accidentally splashed onto my hand. I complained about the pain, but what I got was a hard slap. And the words, "Who told you to be so careless? Stop making noise. Just bear with it and it'll pass." Since then, I've learned to endure the pain. After cleaning up the mess on the ground, I looked at the dishes on the table. He said that he had learned to cook them by himself and it wouldn't be good to waste food. I picked up the chopsticks and tasted them. The taste was just so. Some were a bit bland or too salty, but they were not too bad to eat. But I could tell that he must have cooked them by himself. When Chase came back, there were beads of sweat on his forehead. It was already autumn, which proved that he probably ran back and forth. He took my hand, carefully applied the ointment to my hand. The coolness of the ointment made the burning sensation on the back of my hand much better. Oh, did we come back at a bad time? The colleagues who came back from lunch looked at us and showed an affectionate smile. I knew they had misunderstood. I withdrew my hand. I just got scalded by the water from the water dispenser. He was just helping me apply the medicine. Don't misunderstand. Hurry up and find someone to check what's wrong with the water dispenser. Mavis, don't rush to explain to us. If you don't want him, we'll take him. Such a handsome younger guy. I was just about to say, then you can go for him, when I saw Chase staring straight at me. Okay, now that we've finished eating, hurry up and get back to work. The rival company in this bidding is very strong. Don't take it lightly. Are you reluctant to part with me? Chase looked at me with a bit of a smile. Don't talk nonsense. I just don't want to talk about these things during work. Hurry up and do your job well. Otherwise, I'll report to the boss and you won't pass your internship. After saying that, I quickly got up and went back to my workstation. When I looked up, I saw that he picked up the chopsticks I had used and tasted the dishes he had cooked. I felt the burning sensation on the back of my hand come back again, and I couldn't even sit still. Soon I received a WeChat message. Sister, it seems that I didn't cook very well. I'll definitely do better next time. I didn't reply. Actually, I didn't quite understand Chase. I shouldn't be good-looking enough for him to fall in love with me at first sight. Although I had some pursuers over the years, they gave up quickly. Maybe he was just temporarily curious about an older sister like me and would naturally give up after a while. Chase's performance at work was quite unexpected to me. He was very decisive in handling things and his style was quite mature. Moreover, he could endure hardships. He often worked overtime just to catch up with the progress of the parts he hadn't participated in before. Even so, he could still find time to cook for me. When I refused, he said that he would throw it away. Looking at his slightly bruised lower eyelids, his skin was fair, so it was more obvious, I couldn't bear it anymore. I thought that when the project was over, I should find a time to make it clearer to him. It was really impossible for me to be with him. After everyone worked hard on the project for a week, we successfully won it. I planned to take the people in the project team to celebrate. Originally, everyone was happily discussing what to eat. Just as we got out of the elevator, slap! A slap landed on my face. Mavis, don't you have a heart? How could you be so cruel as to ignore your family? Your younger brother doesn't even dare to go home now. Your father and I can't sleep well every day. You're living a glamorous life here and you're even going to treat people to dinner. Do you have any conscience at all? Everyone, come and see this heartless person. It's so unfair. I worked so hard to support you through college. Now that you've made money, you don't care about your family. I saw my mother Quella sitting on the ground crying and wailing. The blood in my whole body seemed to flow backwards and I felt so cold. The people around were pointing at me. I clenched my fists so tightly that my fingernails almost dug into my flesh. Another hand held mine. The cold palm made me feel a bit of warmth. Security, drag this person out. Aren't you going to deal with people making trouble? I heard Chase's cold and deep voice, which was like a warm current flowing into my heart. He was quite manly. Mavis, I'm your mother. How could you let people treat me like this? Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Quella cursed at me loudly and simply lay down on the ground. Whoever touches me today, I'll say that you hurt me and ask you to pay for my medical expenses. Get up. Let's not make a fool of ourselves here. Let's talk properly. I took a deep breath. She suddenly got up, pointed her finger at me and spat as she spoke. You also know that you're afraid of losing face. If you're afraid of losing face, give me money. 300,000 yuan. Pay off your brother's debt. You're living a glorious life in the city. What kind of life are we living in the countryside? The food and drinks are so poor. Chase was worried about me and stood in front of me. Auntie, if you continue like this, I'll call the police. Are you keeping a young lover in the city and giving money to men instead? You don't give money to your parents but give it to others. Who did you learn this from? You slut. I couldn't bear it anymore. All the past events came flooding back before my eyes. I gave you face, but you didn't want it. Then I'll say it in public. You said you supported me through college. When I was in high school, you didn't want to give me extra living expenses. That money was secretly given to me by my grandfather. Later, I earned part of the money by tutoring others. During the summer vacation, other children were playing, but I took 2 part-time jobs. I just wanted to save money because I knew that even if I was admitted to college, you wouldn't give me a penny. I managed to finish college by relying on scholarships and part-time jobs later. While Yates went to a vocational school, you gave him a lot of living expenses. How can you compare with your brother? He's the root of our Sioux family. Yes, I can't compare with him. Before he even finished school, he learned to bet on football and borrowed usury. I sent all the 100,000 yuan I earned in my first year of work to you. I'm living on instant noodles by myself in this city. Now I don't have a penny. You're asking me for 300,000 yuan. I don't have any. Before, I always hoped that they would remember my kindness. I really tried my best to maintain that little bit of family affection. But when I sent almost all my money to them, they didn't even ask me if I had eaten. After just over a month, they squandered it all and started asking me for money again. Finally, I woke up. It turned out that some things had never existed at all. Why should I maintain them? I think you have money but just don't want to give it, right? I'll come to make trouble here every day. I couldn't stop trembling when I looked at her face. Why was there such a big difference since we were both born by her? From childhood to adulthood, no matter how obedient and sensible I was, she only had eyes for Yates. All I got from her were cold looks and scoldings. Chase looked at me with pity and said to Quella with a cold and serious face, "This is a public place. If you're not afraid of being arrested and detained by the police and fined, just come and make trouble. As for whether Mavis will give you money or not, you can sue in court. We'll give it according to the court's judgment." With that, he took out his phone and pressed the alarm call button towards her. Quella saw it and immediately got up from the ground and left. Before leaving, she viciously said that she would go to court to seek justice. "I'm very sorry about today. You guys go and celebrate. Send me the bill later." I numbly told my colleagues and walked out of the company. Stepping on the fallen leaves, after walking a few steps, I felt someone pulling me. Chase walked in front of me and patted my shoulder. "Come on, I'll carry you back." "What for? Why should you carry me for no reason? You just sprained your ankle. Hurry up, or I'll carry you in my arms." I couldn't help but feel a bit touched. It was because of that slap from Quella. It was so unexpected that I was forced to take a step back and sprained my ankle. He noticed such a small detail. He pretended to come and carry me in his arms. "Okay, I'll carry you on my back." I slowly lay on Chase's back and fell asleep. In my dream, I was myself when I was a child. I saw that my younger brother was always playing the game of riding a big horse with my father. I wanted to play it too. But I didn't dare to say it and could only watch from the side. I tried my best to help them with the housework. I studied hard and was obedient, but I could never get a glance from them. My younger brother stole 20 yuan from others at school and the teacher came to our home. They pushed me out. I cried and complained that it wasn't me. My mother slapped me and said that I not only stole money but also lied. The teacher stopped her from slapping me again. She looked at me with pity. Finally, she said that she would take the money back and say that a student had picked it up. As soon as the teacher left, they still wanted to hit me. The dream suddenly woke me up. I found that we were almost at the apartment I rented. The pedestrians on the road were all looking at us. Some young girls covered their mouths and smiled, saying that the boyfriend of that young lady was so doting on her. I felt my face getting a bit hot and buried it in his shoulder. It was broad and warm, which made me feel very secure. "Mavis." Chase called my name. It was the first time he had called me by my name. He had always called me sister before. It was as if I knew what he was going to say. My heart started beating faster. "Yes. Although it might seem a bit like taking advantage of you to say this now, but could you be my girlfriend? I had planned to confess my love to you in public after the project ended long ago. Why? I've liked you for a long time. Before you even knew me, I got to know about you through my brother's conversations. I heard a lot of things about you, and I'd always wanted to meet you. I thought you were both silly and lovable. I told my brother that you might like him, but he always denied it, saying that you were good friends, good buddies. Until one time when I saw you quietly cooking for my brother through a video call on the phone. I fell for you at first sight. When I returned to China and my brother got back together with Cynthia and said he'd introduce you to me, I was overjoyed. So I'm not someone my brother asked you to get involved with just to get rid of his own feelings. I've wanted to pursue you for a long time." He was extremely serious as he spoke. I looked into his eyes and thought of all the things that had happened recently. He was young, handsome, and responsible, and he knew how to take care of me. I was attracted to him. No one had ever cared about me so much before. He held my hand and bent down, looking into my eyes. "Give me a chance. Let's give it a try." He tentatively moved closer to me. I didn't dodge. I just felt my heart beating rapidly. He was about to kiss me, and I didn't seem to be very resistant to it. Just when our lips were about to touch, a fist pushed him away. "Do you have to compete with me for everything? I heard Jasper's furious voice. Chase staggered back a few steps from the punch. I quickly held him up. What are you doing? I frowned as I looked at Jasper. He looked like a child who had done something wrong under my gaze and hurriedly tried to find something he could take credit for. Mavis, I've completely broken up with Cynthia. So what? When I heard this news, I was calm. His face was pale, and his eyes were red. I do like you. Before, I just didn't know how to face it all of a sudden, so I pretended not to know. I was just used to our friendship over the years. But last time when I saw you with my brother, I felt so bad in my heart, as if a blunt knife was cutting me. When I saw my brother kissing you, I was so angry. Until last time when you said you wouldn't see me again, I was so panicked and uncomfortable. It was even worse than when I knew Cynthia was leaving back then. Only then did I realize that I love you too. Mavis, I regret it. I really regret it. Will you come back to me? I listened to what he said with an expressionless face. But I don't love you anymore. How ridiculous it was. During the 7 years when I loved him, he never loved me. After I pulled away and said I didn't love him anymore, he realized that he loved me. Our love seemed to never appear at the right time. Once something is missed, it's missed forever. He came over and grabbed my shoulders tightly. His eyes became even redder, with a look of disbelief on his face. How could it be? You're just angry, right? You said you started liking me since the 2nd year of high school. 7 years of feelings, how can you just let them go like this? You're just angry with me, aren't you? I stared into his eyes. 7 years ago, when he testified for me, I couldn't help falling for him. I remembered being wrongly accused of stealing money when I was a child. When I tried to explain, I got a severe beating instead. So, I learned to be silent. When he testified for me, I fell in love with him and regarded him as my salvation. But instinctively, I hid all the bitterness, the ugliness, and the sadness. I did a lot of things for him, but I didn't dare to say that I loved him. I loved him so cautiously because I was afraid that he would know I loved him and then we couldn't even be friends. What I said is true. I'm not angry. On the first day when I knew about it all, I was angry at that time, but in the past few days, I've thought it through clearly. Jasper. It's not wrong that you didn't love me. So I don't want to love you anymore either. But I do love you. Then we can only say that our love came at the wrong time. We're just not meant to be together. He then turned his eyes to Chase with hatred in them. I was afraid that he would hit someone again, so I stood in front of Chase. It's because of him, right? Why do you all choose him instead of me? Jasper's eyes were full of hurt. I knew he was referring to his mother. Brother, Mom never thought of giving up on you. Chase said sadly. Don't mention that woman to me. The year Mom and Dad got divorced, she knew she had a tumor. She was afraid that if she chose you to go abroad with her, it would delay your studies. You've always been favored by Mom and Dad since you were a child. You were good at studies and had a good personality. Mom just didn't want you to be sad, so she didn't say anything. I was just her second choice. All these years, it was her who asked me to make video calls to you because you wouldn't answer her calls. She could only take a good look at you through my videos. When she was about to leave, she kept murmuring your name, but you wouldn't even go to see her for the last time. Listening to Chase's calm voice, I felt a pain in my heart. It turned out that he had also been ignored by his family all along. When their parents got divorced, he was just a 12-year-old child. He should have also wanted to get his parents' preference very much. Why did you keep it from me? Jasper looked astonished. Every time we were about to mention it, you wouldn't let us say it. Later, Mom was worried that after she passed away, you would feel guilty, so she asked me not to say anything. Today I'm telling you this just to say that you've never been given up on. Even about Mavis, I reminded you a long time ago, but you didn't listen. I got it. You should treat her well in the future. Otherwise, I'll beat you up. After Jasper finished speaking, he opened his mouth as if to say something to me, but in the end, he didn't say anything and just left with red eyes. I watched his figure gradually disappear into the distance. This time, I really let go of everything. There was no love, no resentment. Have you seen enough? Do you want me to help you get my brother back? I heard Chase's sour voice beside my ear. Then you go ahead. I'm not going. I have to save my energy to pursue you. Then we'll see how you perform in the future. Kid, just wait a little longer. This time I want to figure out my own heart. Whether I regard you as just another straw to clutch at. Or whether I really love you. I believe I'll have the answer soon. Quella really took me to court. The court summoned me for mediation, but I refused. I told them to make the judgment as they saw fit and just send me the judgment notice when it was ready. Finally, the court judgment came down, ordering me to pay them 1,800 yuan in alimony every month. I would transfer the money on time every month, but they shouldn't expect a penny more. She still wanted to make trouble. I looked at her, my tone calm yet sad. I really don't have any money left. Do you want to drive me to my death? If you really want to drive me to my death, you won't even get this 1,800 yuan every month. I don't know if she was really afraid that she wouldn't get the 1,800 yuan if I died, but she really didn't come again after that. It was just that the land in the countryside was sold by them to pay back Yates' debt. Later, I found out that it was Chase who secretly helped me solve the problem behind the scenes. He found my father. He got them to sign an agreement that they wouldn't bother me anymore in the future. He would pay off Yates' debt for them. If they came to bother me again, this agreement would be enough to send them to prison. He also said that he had plenty of ways to deal with them. They were really scared and, since they could get the money, they hurriedly signed the agreement. On New Year's Eve, I was alone, watching the fireworks all over the sky, looking a bit lonely. Mavis. I heard someone calling me. I looked down. It was Chase. He was downstairs in my neighborhood. Standing on the white snow, with fireworks placed in front of him. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. He lit the fireworks, and I watched them explode in the sky. It said, Mavis, I love you. Shall we be together? Okay. Chase, okay. Let's be together. I've fallen in love with you too. A naughty kid who has a temper but also knows how to take care of people. He excitedly ran from the neighborhood to my home. I opened the door. He kissed me. After the kiss, he smiled and said softly in my ear. I said that one day I'd make sister willing to let me kiss her. You're quite something, you naughty kid. I've told you I'm not a kid anymore. I'll make sure you know it today.